Coming to you from the Big Island of Hawaii, it's the Songs and Stories Podcast. And now, here's your host, Steve Roby.
Aloha, I'm Steve Roby from Big Island Music Magazine. We're backstage at the Kahilu Theatre today, and my special guest is award-winning musician Taimane. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, it's good to see you. It's been 2-3 years maybe since you've been to the Kahilu?
So yeah, since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about today's show at the Kahilu. What can fans expect when they watch it on Kahilu TV?
Oh, good questions. We haven't played in front of an audience for a long time, let alone go to another island. So a lot of energy. We're gonna, of course, do some classics that people love, the Led Zeppelin Into For Release, some Wicked Game, of course, some of my albums, and then I am releasing a new album this year, so I have a lot of new music to share that I created during COVID. So they'll be hearing, some new music that we'll be sharing as well. So
All
both.
right. Let's talk a little bit more about the show. It sounds like we just had a cello player walk through the backstage area here. Who'd you bring with you?
I brought over my lovely guitarist, Rachel Look. She's great. She's actually an engineer, civil engineer during the day, and then rock star at night. She's amazing. She's only like 27 too. And then we have our drummer, Jacob Sierra, and he brings the Latin vibes. He's from Colombia. And then we have Jake Starin, who's the cellist who brings the classical vibe.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Mm-hmm. So you brought up the new album that is it completed?
Well, we're working on graphics, but
okay.
Yes, the music is
done.
completed.
It's all mastered.
Yes.
Ready to go.
Yep. We're actually literally looking at proofs for the graphics.
Oh, nice.
So it's very, very close.
Can you talk about it?
It is going to be called Hawaiki. That's Hawaiki. And it was inspired by my Polynesian roots. So I am half Samoan, my mom's side. And then my dad's from Arizona, so I got my white side. But all original music. And a lot of inspiration from Polynesia regarding instruments. So there's Tahitian ukulele, there is Samoan drumming, there's Tahitian drumming, there's some lyrics. And so I just kind of wanted to get in touch with that side of me. And Hawaii is a spiritual place in Polynesia where we come from, where we're created, and where we go after we pass. And so it has the spiritual, mythical vibe.
Right.
I like to call it Polynesian Olympus. I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology.
Okay,
so, you know, there's a lot of gods and goddesses being inspired. Pulotu, which is basically Hades in Samoa. So it's going to be groovy. I want people to feel good when they listen to it. And then, of course, you're going to have some ukulele shredding, as usual. And then also a lot of Polynesian aspects all together.
Sounds like there might be a thematic theme running through it, if you will.
I don't know why, but most of my albums have been like that.
Right.
We Are Made of Stars was all about the planets. Elemental was all about, earth, wind, fire, water. And so this side is more like Polynesian Olympus. Yes. Or gods and goddesses.
Do you have a release date in mind?
No. This year.
Do you have a single coming out?
I did actually release a single, but that was a separate project.
It won't be on the album?
It won't be, no. But that also released recently, maybe like a month ago. That's called Vesper, which was inspired by 007, James Bond. The woman he fell in love with. Oh, okay. Her name was Vesper.
The recent Bond.
Yes, Casino Royale.
Yeah.
And it's also a drink. It's a certain type of martini. And so it's a very James Bond vibe. It's really fun to listen to. Something very different than what I normally do. So that is out. People can listen to that now on Spotify, wherever they like to listen.
How fun.
Yes. Yeah. And then I'm touring a lot, which is why we're trying to figure out when to release the album, because we want it to be in the best place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the cover? Have you got that all nailed down?
I do have the cover, yes. So the same group, for the most part, who did my Elemental album, of me just staring, looking up in the black background. It's just kind of a play off of that, but in a very different way. So me probably, waist up in a very intense position, and it's almost psychedelic.
Have you seen Jake Shimobukuro's new album?
No, I haven't.
It's very psychedelic.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah, it's in like a neon orange and red and white, and it looks like something that came out in the late 60s. And
really? What
yeah.
do you know the name of the album?
It's a double album. I'm a vinyl freak, so
yes.
he gave me a copy of it.
With all his friends.
With all his friends, yeah,
Yes.
Jake and Friends kind of thing, yeah.
I think I did too.
Yeah, it's fun. So the psychedelic theme continues, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, how fun.
Yes.
Are you going to put it out on vinyl?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We're taking it a step at a time. There's so many ways to release albums these days, you know.
Even cassette now.
Cassette, LPs? What are
Long
LPs?
players, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different
CDs,
ways.
yeah.
CDs,
Yeah.
you know, cards, what's next? Bitcoin? I don't know. Like how, am I going to have to toggle it? How are we going to like share it?
We just show up at people's houses and play a few notes. And,
Yeah, okay.
virtually.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. What kind of music do you listen to in your downtime?
I'm really into lo-fi right now. It's like a new type
Yeah.
of thing. I love lo-fi because you can listen to it when you wake up, when you're studying, when you're with your partner. It's just I'd like to call it like elevator music for millennials. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's very just easygoing.
I
but
never
then
heard
you
it
have
put that way,
like
but it
beat.
really works,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really into that lately. Of course, I love classical.
Yeah.
I love classical.
Anybody in particular? Just
I mean, I'm a huge Bach fan. If I'm feeling metal, I'll do Beethoven. Chopin is really beautiful too. I love Chopin. And then the guy who does the seasons.
Vivaldi.
Yes, Vivaldi. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Yes. Congratulations.
What do you want now? Anyway, let's talk about the musical mashups you do, which I find fascinating. Classical, hard rock, and where does that come from?
I think that came more from my dad's side. He was born, he grew up during the 60s era in Arizona. And so like the Led Zeppelin, the Doors, he introduced me to Led Zeppelin. Then I kind of found my way around classic rock. And tonight we are unveiling a new medley with White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, right?
So what's this psychedelic stuff going on here?
I don't know. I just, when I was 15, I really enjoyed that type of music. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, and it still gets used in soundtracks and everything like that too.
Yes.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about this, but what's the rest of the year look for you? You're going to be touring. You're going to release the new album. Any videos, music videos?
So since I'm doing my first tour next month, June. When we are going with a bang. We're just playing at Glastonbury. Like, okay, gonna start with like the biggest festival, which is really, that's
pretty
awesome.
far away. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going, bam, okay, we're just gonna go there. And so I'm bringing the cellist, which I'm really excited about. So we're starting off in the UK. We got that tour for a couple weeks in June, and then July, it's East Coast, West Coast. Sometime in the fall, somewhere in the US, East Coast, West Coast, probably.
Nice. Busy year then. Yeah?
Yes, yeah, and then trying to like release this album in the best way for that as well. So lots of touring. I've been doing some feature films too, which has been cinematic and beautiful. Because it's
the soundtrack part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say acting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh. But yeah, doing the music, the scoring for it. So I'm working on a local feature film, and that's more of like an introverted energy, which I enjoy. I love performing, but I need to be able to diversify too, just in case. You never know, like I am getting older and definitely feeling it more in the joints. So, being able to record. I love the recording studio just because it's more introverted. So doing that as well.
That's a whole different world, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also merchandise. So
That's right.
Yes.
You've got a line of clothing, is it?
I do. Yeah. Earrings, which I'm having tonight. So pre-COVID, all I had was CDs. That's it. That's all I had, which, no one has a CD player anymore. And so during COVID, I was like, okay, I finally have the time to be able to create merchandise that's a little more updated. And so during COVID, I created a little line of, and I just went everywhere. You have sweatshirts, I have tank tops.
Men's and women's.
It's all print on demand too, which I like.
Nice.
So I just design it then let, Amazon and a website called Teespring, they just do it for me.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have an extra bedroom full of T-shirts and stuff.
And doing it myself.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Great.
then I also have handmade ukulele earrings that a local jeweler made. And they're little ukulele earrings with like black pearls too. I'm not wearing them right now, but yeah, I have that. And then I'm looking into other things as well besides that. Things that are light, because when you are traveling and you're lugging the merchandise
merch
yourself.
Is back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's bulky and it's heavy.
Right.
So I'm just trying to keep it simple for myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time. One last question for you. Where can fans find your music and your merchandise?
Oh, great question. They can find my music on my website. I'm also on Bandcamp, which I really appreciate because those
They're very
proceeds
supportive,
go exactly
Yeah.
straight to the artist compared to like Spotify, which is I'm on there as well, iTunes. And then merchandise they can find actually on my YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah. So Teespring is the company where they show your merchandise under your videos, which is a reason why I went with them.
Wow.
But they can find my merchandise on my website. It'll take them there.
So you got your website, YouTube, Spotify, and all other streaming platforms.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today. Have a great show at the Kahilu. And we're so happy to have you back here on the Big Island.
Glad to be back. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Songs and Stories podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next week on Songs and Stories. Aloha.